Today we're going to build a simple meeting using MeetingSphere. I'm going to log in to my account. MeetingSphere starts up. And I'm going to add a new meeting by creating a session. I'm just going to call it a new agenda. And there are a few things I have to fill out on this page. I'm going to give it a name. I'm going to give it an expiration date. I'm going to set a local area. I'm in the Eastern time zone. And I could put a location. I'll happen to put mine. And I need to give it a name. I'm going to call it Test 6. I can decide whether I want people's names or their emails. I can even give it a session code so that only people with that session code can log in. In this case, I'm not going to give it anything. I want to keep it very simple. And I'm ready to make it active. And now I'm going to check the green check mark to confirm. So my session so far has nothing in it. I'm going to start by creating the very first one, and I'm going to call that Welcome. And before I actually go in and build that first activity, I'm going to create a welcome screen. In this screen, I'm just going to put a little information. Welcome to my first meeting. And I might want to make that really big and move it way up there to the top. And I don't like to show a pop-up instruction, so I'm going to go in there and disable that. Let's look at the welcome screen. Looks good. Now, one of the things that, my picture's getting in the way here, one of the things that I can always do is go back to my menu with that. So if I'm back in here and I want to get back to building my agenda, I use that little left arrow. The very first thing I want to put here is a welcome, let's say a welcome brainstorm. I'll give it a name. Why are we here? And I might also call it over here. Why are we here? And in this case, if I were to start people in this, they'd have a place to enter the answer to that question, and everybody would see everybody's answer. For now, I'm going to set a few more parameters. I'm going to go back in here and show some of my advanced settings. And the first thing I might want to do is make sure that it's anonymous. I could also have teams designated, or if I had people log in with their name or their email, I could have that tagged. Over here under View, I want people to be able to see everybody's idea. I have the option of just letting them see their own. And that's all I'm going to set there. So I'm ready to start that activity for whoever comes into my meeting. I'm going to go create one more activity. I'm going to put it in the same stage called Welcome, and it's going to be some discussions. And I'm going to call it Discussion Topics for this first meeting. And over here I'm going to say, please enter the discussions. And I'm going to simply create a few discussions. Let's say, let's discuss people issues. And let's also discuss budget issues. And let's discuss one more thing, the parking situation at our headquarters. Okay. So the way these work is when somebody needs to comment there, they just open those up. They can close them, jump around. So I'm going to start everybody in that. And there is a meeting. It has 2 steps. Why are we here? Some discussion topics. And if you recall, it has a way to get in and doesn't require anybody to put information in. I'm going to get out of this, just go back to my browser, and I'm going to go ahead and pretend I'm a new user just coming in to that meeting. So I'm going to paste test 6 in the top, and it comes in and it says this is training session. Doesn't ask me for any login information or pass keys, and it just asks me to press enter. I come in. Welcome to my first meeting, and here are the 2 topics. Why are we here? Let me comment on that. Notice that it's anonymous. I could put more information. And everybody who puts information in here, all that information will show up here. When I'm done with this one, I can get back to that menu by pressing this. And I can go into the discussion topics. And let me just pick one and put a comment there. And you can see how easy that is. Now let's go back and re-log in. We're going to get out of this first and re-log in as the leader again. And go back and find that meeting. It was called training session. And I'm going to turn that off. And I'm going to run a report on training session. And I'm going to call it test report. And I can tell it what I want. I want these 2 things. And I want it to become a Word document. Here's the report that we ran in a Word document. You can see that it just has one anonymous person, has a table of contents. There was just a couple of comments to the answer of why we were here, to explore important topics, to network, and it had had some discussion topics and only one of them had comments, these comments here, these two comments here. And that's it. That's how we do a simple meeting in MeetingSphere. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. It really is possible to create collaborative meetings online in just 10 minutes. Of course, more complicated meetings take a little longer. And I've been specializing in using this kind of software for many years now. If you need help getting started, please visit my website, and I'll just take you around a little tour of my website. I'll give you the website URL. But if you're ready to get started with MeetingSphere, go down to the services, and you can click on this link and get a free 30-day trial of MeetingSphere, or click on this link and you can buy MeetingSphere. It'll cost you less than $1,000 for a year, and that lets you build as many meetings with as many people as you want for an entire year.